My guest is Brent Severyn, and you know him as a former Dallas Stars and NHL player. He also is on the Dallas Stars broadcast on Fox Sports Southwest doing the pre- and post-game show. And so with hockey season nigh upon us, I felt like I wanted to catch up with you and start first with your broadcasting side of things. I think people obviously see you on the air before the game, after the game, and intermissions. Preparation. What do you have to do to be ready for that?
Not much. I have a coffee and I do my hair, put my makeup on, and away I go, and that's it. Isn't that the way it's done?
I thought so. Yeah. I mean, that's the way I've always done it, but that's why I don't get to do that anymore.
I know.
What sort of things do you look at?
Yeah, it's crazy how much time and prep is put into a 30-minute show or a pre- and post-game show. It takes a lot of time, and you're watching tendencies. It's really like doing a scouting report, if you will, for as a coach or assistant coach or a general manager, and we're watching for trends and stuff, and then trying to find an interesting way to bring it to the audience and make it entertaining. So you have these 20-minute or 20-second little bites that you have to do within a broadcast where you're giving the audience information, but you're trying to make it entertaining and have some fun as we do it. And the people at Fox and the people that we work with are really great and put together a good show. So it's a lot of fun, but it does take a lot of time and a lot of preparation for that game.
Now, once you get into the game, you obviously know you're going to have to comment at intermission on something that's just happened in the previous 20 minutes. And then after the game, what sort of things are you looking for once the game gets started?
Well, watching the game for us as ex-hockey players is pretty easy to do, but it's working with the truck or the people in the studio to pull the clips that you need to tell the story. That's the hardest part, because you can't, with 30 seconds remaining in a period, just call the truck and say, hey, I need this clip. They need a little bit of time. So there's the balance, because sometimes a lot can go on in a short period of time near the end of a period, and you need that clip. So it's very difficult to get that. So there's always the balance of what to show, how to show it. Can the truck or the studio be able to pull that clip to utilize between periods? So that's the hardest part, I think, in the production side of it, because watching the game and breaking it down is pretty easy. I've been doing it since I was 5, so that's not the difficult part.
Once you get to the post-game side, how much of a sort of an organic thing is that? You've got a press conference that might be happening. You've got different stuff. What sort of things are you guys juggling there? Yeah,
that's kind of the fun thing. That's free-flowing, because a lot of the other things are pretty scripted, and especially the pregame show, we're trying to hit marks and we're trying to get our stuff out there. Between periods happens very quickly, but at the end is when we start to free-flow a little bit, and you have different elements that are coming in and out of the broadcast, whether it's sending it down to the coach or getting an interview live. So that's a pretty fluid time that you have to be ready to react. And it's a time that actually we have more time to talk about the game and really break it down. So it's a fun time to do that, especially if it's a good game for the Dallas Stars and they've won, then we can have a little more fun with it.
Well, the Stars had a lot of good games last year. They were just about as close as you can get to knocking off the team that eventually did win the Stanley Cup. What are some reasons you guys have been thinking about for why they might maybe be able to go beyond that this year?
Yeah, it's such a pivotal time last season for the Stars to improve both on the ice and also, get the fans more excited. And they did that. They really came on strong near the end of the season. If you look at it from January on, they're a very successful team and they started to put things together. You love the goaltending. I am in love with the defense for this team. Miro Heiskanen is going to be a superstar in the league, and he's one of the main reasons I believe that if the Stars have a chance to win a Stanley Cup, it will be because of their defense. So guess what? Stars had trouble scoring last year, so they go out and now they get this guy named Pavelski, pretty good player, 38 tucks last year. They bring him in to help Corey Perry, who I know from Anaheim when I was a broadcaster out there. Hardworking guy, he's going to get in front of the net, he's going to stir it up a little bit. So they have a lot of elements that they've added, especially on the offensive side, which make them a better team. It always comes down if these guys can gel, but they have a lot of good things going for them, and hopefully they will build from last season.
Well, and depth scoring has been something that the Stars have been challenged with the last couple of years. The guys you mentioned, Hintz is another one. Who needs to step up to make sure that they get that depth scoring beyond that top line?
Well, for a while, you've had the top guys who have scored and chipped in, and they can always be better, and we put the pressure to be on them to be better, but it's that
and Jim Lights.
Yes, it's that second line scoring that has been missing from the Dallas Stars. The third line is chipped in. You love what Radek Faksa does and his ability to check, and they got Cogliano there and other guys that are going to step up. But it's that second line, there was this hole. So you need to make sure who's ever in that second hole, which they hope is going to be Rope Hintz, to be able to churn that line. And what we saw from him last year was this great progression from a rookie trying to feel his way in to a guy that's really contributing. Now, hopefully, he can step up offensively and drive the second line. Because if you can get someone to drive that second line offensively, really this team is going to be exceptional.
How much, in terms of that depth scoring, can you expect the defense to contribute, especially Heiskanen, who has just all this ceiling? His floor's pretty good too, but all this ceiling and maybe even to take another step in contributing on that end.
Yeah, it's important always in this NHL for the defensive units to jump up, and even Esa Lindell, he's been outstanding. But the main thing for defensemen is to get the puck out of their own zone, because you don't want the opponents to drive possession time inside your own zone, and now you're scrambling, you're taxing the goaltender, you're inside your own zone more than you should be. You got to get it out. And Esa does it exceptional. Klinger's so good offensively up ice. He's the guy that's going to be scoring a lot of the goals and on the power play. Esa Lindell 5-on-5, and of course Miro Heiskanen, who is exceptional of getting that puck out of their own zone, and that's the main reason I'm excited about this defensive core. Yes, offensively, they have to chip in as well.
Should be an exciting Stars season.
Let's bring it on. Let's get her going.
Absolutely. We're barely 2 months away, so it should be good. Well, thank you, Brent, for joining us.
My pleasure, as always.
Appreciate it a lot. With Brent Severyn for the Fort Worth Weekly, I'm Russ Olson.